Hi guys, welcome to this video. And as you can see here, I've got my good friend and our guest trader and chart analyst, Zak Mir. For those of you who don't know, Zak has been doing our crypto videos for quite a long time. He's a fantastic guy, and I'll do a quick bio for you guys here on the screen so you can see it as well. Zak, so before we go on and talk about the chart of Tesla, which is the one I want to talk about, and what I really want to just ask you is, first of all, how you been? How's things been going for you over the last few months during the lockdown period? And during this, we were talking with Zak a few minutes ago that both of us have been putting on a lot of weight. Some of you can probably tell in this video, I put on some weight, as you can see here, with double chin going on here. I was telling Zak, look, we've been overindulging on the food. So before we talk about Tesla, Zak, how you been?
Well, I think I told the audience before, I managed to put on 4 kilos in 4 weeks in the first part of the lockdown. But then I took decisive action and I managed to lose 10 kilos. So I'm -6 now, which is great. So I feel like a young man again.
So Zak, I want to ask your opinion about Tesla. I get requests all the time. Hey, can you talk about Tesla? Can you talk about Tesla? So I want to get your opinion on this because Tesla just recently hit a key resistance level, the top regression channel. And Tesla hit the 3 standard deviation upper part of the 3 standard deviation channel. That's a key level of resistance. It's overbought as well, over bullish. What do you think, Zak? I mean, do you think we're overdue for some kind of a corrective pullback, or do you think no, this rally is just going to continue pushing higher? What is your short-term perspective and your long-term perspective? So short to medium term, what do you think is going to happen? And what about the long-term perspective over the next multi-month, maybe multi-year outlook?
Yeah, well, I think short term we're like about looking at the chart, my own chart, we're about $600-700 above the 50-day moving average, which on the daily chart, which is quite an achievement. The recent high, the July high, was around $1,800. So I suppose at least while we're above 1,800, you can't really say that there's anything. You can't say anything. On a negative front. That support, that old resistance is new support. I'm drawing on my analysis a line from December running through the February peak, which goes through 3,100. And looking at the price action, I know people are very excited and thinking it's overblown and everything else, probably even Elon himself. But for me, it's a stock which is in mid-move. It's not like over, in terms of the actual momentum there. It's in a mid-move situation, and over the next 2 to 3 months, $3,000, not a problem. That's
over the next few months.
Yeah, I mean, like a couple of, I mean, it's, well, obviously we've gone from, I think we're from end of June or beginning of July, we're at 1,000. So we've doubled in 7 weeks. So to go up by another 30% by the end of, by mid-October or the end of September even, would not be too much. I mean, as I was saying earlier today, we're in a situation on the stock market where everybody wants to drive in the fast lane on the highway. Nobody wants to be in anything which is not moving. Yeah. They want to get in and get out quickly. There's no long-termism at all because you need to be, you never know when you need cash to buy toilet rolls, so you need to be in something which is a short-term mover. And there's no long-term investment at all. So even Buffett's got into gold. He's just like, I'm in now. I don't think he's going to be there for very long either. We're in fast-moving situations, but Tesla, as I said, I think it's just getting going in a certain sense. Same with Apple, same with Apple as well. I think those two companies, but it literally is. Everybody's just they've dumped everything else, all the boring stuff, and now they're into just a few stocks which will hopefully, they need big returns, and that's what they're going for.
Okay, so are you saying in the short term we could see a pullback to the averages, a pullback to the mean average on the regression channel chart, on the channel chart, like you were saying 1,800 I think a few minutes ago? So you're saying, I mean, at the moment, just letting everyone know, we've got like a shooting star doji candle right at that 3 standard deviation channel line, which is a level of resistance. I think while I don't want to stand in front of a freight train, it's very dangerous to stand in front of a momentum. But I think the conditions are increasing for a potential pullback to, like you said, 1,800, I think. But I would like to see a break of 1960. I would like to first see 1960 break on Tesla, and then potentially start the momentum rolling towards what the levels you mentioned, reversion back to the mean, a pullback to the mean. But do you think once you get a pullback to the averages, a reversion to the mean, like 1800, I think you were saying before, do you think we're going to hold that level and then continue pushing higher?
I suppose the times the stocks really come back is sort of determined a bit by news flow in the recent past. But I think that the way things are going at the moment, it just is. Look at the old peak, see whether you'll get a retracement. I mean, as I just said before, you know, we're at $1,000 in the beginning of the July breakout. The lowest after $1,000, after hitting 1,800 or whatever it was 14. The gap, you know, that's $400. The support was found $400 above the old high. I mean, that's not a stock which is, you know, that's a stock which is, you know, going places, if you see what I mean. Still, so. It's a freight train situation. How you play it in terms of if you're long, it's, you know, too strong to go long, too high to go long, too strong to go short. You're in that one of those situations. So yeah, it's fascinating from that, you know, from as a conundrum. But I'd rather go by above 1,800. I think it's going to go to 3,000. I don't want to get, it's too complicated otherwise, I think, on that.
Before we come to the 3,000 thing you just mentioned, I mean, I quite like John Hussman, who's an economist and a trader. He's a very he has a 3 O's. He mentions, he follows the 3 O's. He says, be careful when the market is overbought, over bullish, overvalued, parabolic, for example, and the 3 O's I call it. And when the market is overbought, over bullish, and overvalued, you want to be extremely careful. And I'm seeing all those conditions right now in Tesla, hitting resistance at the regression channel. I think the odds at the moment in the short term, in the next few weeks perhaps, the odds are increasing for some kind of a corrective profit-taking pullback. And then I'm thinking to 1,800, I think you mentioned. I think I agree with you on that. Yeah. And then potentially holding that level. So let me ask you this. You said 3,000 on Tesla. When do you think, how long do you think it'll take before we get there? Because I think you said it'll take, I think you're quite bullish on that. I think you were saying sometime maybe next year.
I mean, it's just, I don't know, we're near the end of August. So let's say mid-October. The rate of the progress at the moment, it could be mid-October even. This is a very special situation, just because, not because of any, like the shares have gone up a lot and they could keep going higher, because Tesla's fantastic. Just because I think the point that hasn't been mentioned that much is that because you've got so many areas which have been basically blown out of the water, like, you know, the hospitality, leisure, things like that, the actual bandwidth of what to invest in has gone much narrower. So now you have the farmers, you have the technology, you have these kind of things. And remember, again, a car is the perfect antidote to COVID. You know, I'm surprised, I'm amazed. I mean, I haven't bought a car for 15 years. I bought a car 3 months ago because I can't go on public transport because I don't want to give my father COVID, or, you know, or get COVID. You know, you see what I mean? Yeah. I would never have bought a car again. I was out of the car thing, right? And so the car thing that's sort of included in the Tesla thing, apart from the, you know, his wonderful personality and everything else. Cars I think are underrated as you know, they're becoming like an essential. It's like a face mask. It's like a face mask. Okay, so that's something. Yeah.
So I suppose as long as you're breathing in your own air, you're okay.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not in my case, but anyway. So basically, you've got that in there. But this is a bit different from the .com situation, in the sense that the .com era, you could still invest in real estate or this or that type of era. Here, it's much narrower because some sectors have just been closed down and they may never come back. As I said, 3,000 is the target there. I would be, I mean, I'm just looking at the chart recently, the kind of pullback. Really, the July pullback was that was like 18 back to, let's say, 13 and a half. So let's say, I don't know, let's say it's a 20%. So I mean, on that basis, let's say we have another 20%. you're still very, very high, and you could go down to 14, 15, let's say, and then shoot right back up to 3,000. So it's a situation where you really want to see a nice pullback, get your call there right in terms of, you know, how you address it. So it's the 20-day line or the 50-day line or whatever you're using, and then you're back in again. But
and all I was going to say was, in the short term, despite what I said recently, I would still need to see a break below 1960, a close below 1962 for further downside action. And all I'm going to say is this: I think that because we're expecting, I think Zach will agree with me on this, because we're expecting a correction in the stock market in the next few months as we head towards the election, maybe close to the election period, whether before or after. I think that once we get this correction in the stock market, which is very likely going to impact not just the stock market, but, you know, tech stocks too, and of course stocks like Tesla. I think that will provide a potentially better buying opportunity. You know, wait for that big retracement. So wait for that bigger.
Well, when's your retracement coming? Is it coming before the election, after the election? When's your retracement?
I'm making a video on that soon. I'm making a special video just on the U.S. election, and it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting.
But just saying that because it is kind of relevant here that. Yeah, I don't see any.
Well, let's have your opinion. What do you think?
I don't see any meaningful pullback. Obviously, before people go to vote for whoever they're going to vote for. So the whole point of this ramp that we're seeing in the markets is so that, you know, the incumbent stays in power, and so it would be pretty foolish to have the rally finish 3 weeks or 5 weeks or 8 weeks before the election. Everybody loses their money that they made on Tesla, and they don't vote for Trump. So I think this is the perfect pre-election rally, and there's going to be helicopter money. There's going to be you don't have to work, you don't have to do anything. You sit at home, make double your money on Tesla shares. Thank you very much. It's going to be a feel-good thing, you know. So any collapse or disaster would be from after November the 3rd or whatever the date is. I think it's November the 3rd, something like that.
Yeah, you make an interesting point there. You make an interesting point. Guys, thank you very much indeed for watching this video. Thanks very much for Zach to joining us in this video as well. Please make sure, guys, you check out Zach's Twitter feed at Zach's Traders Cafe. Is there anything else that people can find you, Zach, or is the Twitter pretty good?
No, the Twitter's pretty good, so I think that's the place to be these days.
And guys, make sure you also watch Zach's crypto report, his crypto videos, which is every week. Zach, you do analysis of Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, Chainlink. I think you do Cardano, a few other cryptos as well. So watch Zach's video updates on that as well in our member videos. Thank you very much, Zach. Really appreciate it. Bye for now.
Thank you.